Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Morning, Danny. Morning, I can't say it. Comfortably crumbs. Morning, Paul. Morning, Pleiades. Morning, Wozczyk. Morning, Robert. How are we doing? Happy Friday. Final day. Big move down on the DAX. FTSE this morning. I will get my words out at some point, don't worry. Yeah, huge move down on the FTSE at the open this morning. DAX also selling off really, really hard this morning. So not quite sure exactly what is going on there. Just checking the news. Had UK retail, but not sure our 0.1 differential is really going to make that much difference. But yeah, big move down. Bank of Japan is said to see a potential rate hike environment this year, so falling back in line with the rest of us. Apart from that, there's no other news overnight. This morning we've got basically we've had Tokyo CPI, which came out pretty much on forecast. It is down, but that's pretty much it for news today. We've got the IFO business climate and durable goods for the US, so there's no news again today. Yesterday we had loads of PMIs. The euro kept to their rates at 2.15 as we forecast. So the PMIs were all pretty much forecast yesterday. There was one slightly out on the pound. That was it. Everything else came out pretty much bang on forecast. So not really a lot of movement yesterday. The dollar manufacturing was down quite a bit, but services were up quite a bit. So everything was kind of balanced out yesterday. Nothing particularly exciting happened in FX. We had quite a lot of movement. Main mover being the euro. So we had that big sort of spike up on euro, if we look at some of the euro pairs yesterday. So big spike up there and then retracted straight back down again. So this was basically the ECB press conference, Lagarde basically saying we're not going to do much at all. So pretty much we've been working up to Thursday this week for news, and nothing much happened. So it's a completely dead week this week. If you look at most of the FX pairs, going back to Monday, we're just same old. We're just not going anywhere. The markets are absolutely flat at the moment. We are sort of in summer trading territory now, but as you can see, there's very little movement on anything at all this week. So this is this week 4-hour chart. We're really not going anywhere. So very, very dead week this week, unfortunately. As you can see, it's just sideways. So we're waiting for something to happen. Trump sorted out the tariffs yesterday with Europe and Japan. Pound did a deal with India. So tariffs and trade deals seem to be sort of sorting themselves out. So ADRs today, you can see there's nothing to look at. Weekly ranges, your biggest extension at the moment this week is New Zealand dollar Swiss, which is extended to the upside. Reversal alert went in on that one yesterday, up there. So that was your sort of end of move on the New Zealand dollar Swiss. There's a couple of other big extensions on weekly ranges, New Zealand US and US CAD. But again, reversals sort of started to go in yesterday on those two, and US dollar Swiss. That one actually didn't reverse. Oh, that was from, we got that one extended much earlier, didn't we? US dollar CAD, wasn't it? Sorry, not US dollar Swiss. US dollar CAD. So that one reversed on Wednesday, basically, this week. But that was it. RSI's totally flat. So there's literally nothing to look at today. It's one of those weeks where basically we've either moved and undone, or we've just done absolutely nothing all week. Indices, FTSE has closed on its inside range just about, but it's closed on the lows there. So there's no trade on the 5-minute ORB on the FTSE. Same with the DAX. The DAX is within range, but closed right on the lows there. So the EA filters these out because usually you will, because of spread and gapping, you'll get limit orders placed rather than breakout orders. So EA filters those ones out. So we will be taking a 10-minute break on the FTSE and on the DAX this morning if we get them. DAX should be no problem. FTSE 2771. We might actually be over that. Yeah, so there's no trade on the FTSE today for me anyway. That's over the range. That's 40% of the average daily range basically done in 10 minutes. So giving that a miss today. DAX will be trading. But you see the market's really selling off this morning. Very, very big sell-off this morning on those. So just quickly looking back over the news, obviously the Bank of Japan stuff, market's not really done anything with that. We kind of knew they were using interest rates now to control inflation. Apart from that, not an awful lot else happened overnight. There's your CPI for Japan. But that's pretty much it. So it's a very, very dead day today. It's been a dead week, basically. Pretty profitable week for indices. Done pretty well this week. Had a down day yesterday. Couldn't do anything yesterday. Yesterday's indices were terrible. US session, basically, yesterday was just whipsaw. So, as you can see, went short, stopped out, went long, stopped out, did finally break up, came straight back to the open, broke up, back to the open. We closed exactly pretty much where we opened on the S&P. The Dow was very similar. We did get a decent break on the Dow, but it still came back to the open. So up, straight back down again. So the Dow got a nice clean break to the upside. So that one was a nice profit yesterday. But NASDAQ did exactly the same as the S&P, and we just got stopped out. So we've got 4 trades stop outs yesterday. So short, stopped out, long, stopped out, short, stopped out, long, stopped out. It literally just whipsawed for the entire day. So no way to make profit on breakouts yesterday. Terrible day. But you get these days, just have to trade through them. So we got 1 minute to go. So definitely no trade on the FTSE today because that thing is absolutely collapsing. DAX, we're definitely going to get a 10-minute ORB. We'll wait for that to kick in. Morning, everybody else. Virginia Road. Morning, Sebastian. See, I'm getting to know people's names now. Morning, Craig. Morning, Elevated Trading Hub. How we doing? So we've got 30 seconds left, and we'll have a look at that. If there's any FX pairs you specifically want to look at today, let me know. There's nothing to look at on the RSIs, so there's nothing extended to have a look at today. Obviously, ADR-wise today, we haven't got any. Monthlies, it's the 25th, so we're getting towards the end of the month. These will have all played out, basically. My portfolio at the moment is very, very flat. I haven't banked anything this week, pretty much at all, as you can see. It's dead. I can't bank anything. Nothing's moving. I've been sitting in roughly 7% drawdown pretty much all week. Oil, these are the only trades that I've gone at the moment. I haven't found anything else I wanted to get into at all. Aussie New Zealand, as you can see, this is a 15-minute chart. You can see obviously absolutely nothing I could do this week. We haven't gone anywhere at all. We are just completely flat. I'm looking for a push back down into propulsion down in here for the profit take. Aussie US haven't got on. There was an opportunity to get into this on Wednesday at this double top. I didn't take it. I was looking for a push up into there. I didn't take it because I've just got exposure on the Aussie with the Aussie New Zealand. Swiss yen I'm out of, but again, that's gone totally sideways all week. Euro CAD just sideways. It has pushed up this week, but nothing extended that I've been interested in taking. If you look at the hourly chart, this last week, there's just been no extensions. We had a little dip down opportunity there, but I'm in short already. Scaled into back up to basically my last trade. So it's just dead. You know, it's just sideways. You can't do anything with this type of market. When you're position trading, you need the market to move from A to B. It's just not moving. So you sit in it. There's nothing you can do with it. Euro Swiss, big push up over the last couple of days on that one with the euro. I don't think it's going to go too much further than up to there. There was an entry on that one yesterday, but I'm just not interested. I've got my Euro CAD on and I've been in it for ages. Euro pound, totally sideways. Pound US dollar has pushed up. I got out my shorts on that last week. We have pushed up back into propulsion. It's a 50% retracement into that monthly level. Nice extension. So that was a good trade yesterday, but I didn't take it. I was doing other things yesterday. So oil sideways. As you can see, I said when this came down and I scaled back in down here, I said I'll give it until 5%, which is basically 5% for me drawdown wise is just below this low here. I said I'll give it 5%. If it gets to 5%, I'll get out. 3 weeks later, we haven't gone anywhere. So I'm just sitting in it. The market is absolutely dead. It's summer trading. We haven't even got to summer yet. So if this is going to carry on, there's nothing you can do but short time frame trading. That's the only way you're going to make money. So that's what I'm doing. So shorts on the DAX. FTSE no trades today. So short on the DAX. Downside target, very obvious, very easy to spot. Your weekly low. So that is last week's low. We've already tapped into it once this week. We've broken Thursday's low this morning with a propulsion move. So I'll be looking for a push down into there. Partial profit take down there somewhere. And then see if it pushes back up. There's your highs. Sorry, bear with me. Go away. Don't know who that is. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, we'll see where we go with the DAX. Still stuck in the Swiss yen short and hoping it falls today. Break-even level is 175 ADR. So break-even's down there. Yeah. That's easily achievable. So if you stick a fib on this leg that we've got, started there. 38 retracement is here. A 23 retracement, which is what I would class as a flag. So a very, very shallow pullback, which would turn into a flag break, usually somewhere around about 23 retracement. That's your 150 ADR level. So you've got two options with it here, really. We've broken short, obviously, and market structure is now looking nicely short, but we have stalled out again. Everything's stalled out this week. So looking for a grind down, basically. When you get down to that 23 level, I would consider taking partials. So get some of it off and do drawdown control with it. And then basically hope for a 38 retracement, really, a sort of normal style pullback to a medium pullback at the 50% retracement. But the actual downward leg pullback levels are absolutely miles away. If you look at this high here, that's a 50% retracement. That is your closest downside support. Then you're coming back to the most recent support, which is all the way back down at 176, sort of this sort of area here. So this propulsion gap, basically. So propulsion gaps form typically when you break resistance areas. So there's so much downside on this. It will pull back at some point. It's just there's no catalysts at the moment for the market to do anything. It's just dead. Just one of those periods in time where you just can't do anything with anything. The market is just flatlined. And you just have to sit there basically and wait. Why can't I grab that fib? Where did I put that fib? What the hell? I can't grab it. There we go. No. There we go. So yeah, loads of downside. It's just the trouble at the moment, obviously, is there's just a lot of it. So it's a case of waiting for one of these two to make a move. The Swiss, we've got no news on for a while. The yen, very rarely get news on. They're going to be raising interest rates, which they've said overnight, which is going to power up the yen. We've just had the trade deal done with Trump, which again will power up the yen. So there's a very good chance that we will get some strength in that yen coming through. It's just not this week. A waiting game, unfortunately, at the minute. Okay, DAX stuck inside bar. I'm just testing another strategy that I'm testing for someone at the moment. Short on the Okay. Sorry, I'm just testing an EA that I'm building for someone. Right. Still stuck in the Euro Pound and Euro New Zealand, not moving. And if then long instead of short. And if then long instead of short. Don't know what that means. Euro Pound. Yeah, so the Euro pairs basically, you're in Euro New Zealand as well. So Euro pairs basically are fairly strong at the moment. Lagarde yesterday wasn't bearish about the euro. Wasn't particularly bullish, but wasn't particularly bearish. So we got kind of a neutral stance. The market reacted positively yesterday to that. Euro New Zealand, again, you got slight uptick if you look at yesterday in the euro. Very, very slight. But obviously that was the news, the interest rate decision. So I suspect, as you can see, it's off today. I suspect we're going to come up into these highs on Euro New Zealand. Euro Pound, obviously, we're out at new highs. So, yeah, strong euro at the moment. I'm stuck in Euro CAD. Just can't get out of that either. I've taken a partial on it, but I can't get out. Can't do anything with it. It's literally, at the minute, you are waiting for something big. We're waiting for an interest rate decision, a very large inflation number, some huge GDP figure, a trade deal to fall out of bed. We're just waiting for something to happen. Trump has kind of flattened the market with all the trade deals. Everything's kind of back to where it was. They're all in place pretty much now. So we're waiting for the next big thing. And the market at the moment is in shock mode after all the trade tariffs. So there's no real directional bias. Nobody's said they're going to increase or decrease interest rates in the short term. There's literally just no reason for anything to start moving at the moment. So we're getting a lot of short-term movement, like with the New Zealand, with its interest rates and things, and even the Australian dollar. You know, they decided not to change interest rates. It's not gone anywhere. Normally, when a country goes, actually, you know what, we told you we're going to change the interest rate, we're not going to bother, it goes ballistic. It's just not happening. So that, you know, the market has just got no power at the moment. There's literally nothing there. It's almost like we've gone to sleep. It's a bizarre market at the moment. We are getting movement, but it's just not explosive. There's nothing that's really moving fast enough at the minute. So I'm just checking this. EA. So I'm doing EA testing basically for somebody, so that I'm building an EA for. So I have to live test it. I'm just making sure the functionality and the logic is all working, which it seems to be, which is good. But yeah, that's it. That's all we've got today, really. There's nothing much else to discuss. There's no point in going through all the pairs. There's nothing set up. You know, that's what the dashboards are there for, to tell me when there are things setting up. There's nothing setting up. It's just dead. It's absolutely flat. Is that a scalp strategy you're testing? Yes. 1 minute time frame. We don't have to forget that at the moment we have the summer doldrums. Yeah. So yeah, summer trading varies each year. It tends to be sort of August, September. It tends to slow down. The thing at the moment, though, is, you know, if you look at most pairs, yeah, you can't really slow down from a slow market. It's always the way. I wouldn't say my worst months, but my most difficult months are always August, September. They're always less profitable because you just don't get that movement in the market. So what tends to happen, obviously, is you do get explosive moves on short time frames in summer months because you've got low liquidity, which causes slippage, and that causes large movements. Euro pound weekly range exceeded. But position trading wise, you tend to get a lot of range bound movement. So it's a range bound couple of months that we're going into. There you go, euro pound, that's the weekly range extension. We're out of yesterday's high. So you can look for pullback opportunities on that today. You haven't really got anywhere. Yes, you have. So you're looking at about 125 ADR today is your kind of most recent high from 3 months ago. I think that's probably an all-time. No, it's not an all-time. Nowhere near an all-time. So that's your most recent high, high of the year, basically. September last year. So we will get a reaction there. So if you're short on this and you're looking for aggressive drawdown control opportunities, that propulsion gap, high of the year, that's where you want to get in short. Yeah, summer trading, it's never fun. Short-term timeframes, though, that's where you're going to find the action. What's my opinion on options? I have no idea. Don't trade them. Never have done. Never researched them. Never looked into them. Know nothing about them. I don't have an opinion. Don't get involved in options at all. Options are complicated investment vehicles, and it's not what I do. I'm not an investor. So people that trade options tend to be long-term traders. Not my bag. If the markets slow down even more, they just stop altogether. Yep, they do. I mean, it doesn't happen, but what you find basically is during the summer months, the ADRs drop. So over the next 4 to 6 weeks, these ADRs will just get smaller and smaller and smaller. So, you'll be sitting down at 89 or something on the Swiss yen. Everything will drop to sub 100 pip moves. So if you look at the ADRs at the moment, the biggest ADR we've got at the moment, US dollar yen is 136, pound New Zealand is 142. Pound New Zealand tends to be always the biggest ADR. So that's your biggest ADR at the moment. I think you'd be hard pushed to get that under 100, but everything else probably under 100. So you're just going to find that movement intraday just slows. It will still move in a direction. It's just it will take 3 weeks to get somewhere it would normally take a week to do. Just there is no liquidity. I still don't understand why it happens, because banks and institutions, the reason it used to happen was because of holidays. Bankers used to get 6 weeks holiday. I don't know whether they still do or not, but traders used to get a month and a half off. They used to take a big chunk of it during the summer and a big chunk of it usually over Christmas, and they worked like Trojans the rest of the year. So that's why the markets tend to slow down, because the traders weren't there, the liquidity wasn't there, therefore the market didn't have the movements. So when you did have big news events, you get large spiky movement, which is slippage, and then nothing happens after that. Most of the market movement now is algorithmic. It's all done by quants. So I don't really understand why we still have summer trading doldrums, because if quants are trading, they don't sleep. Why are we not just doing normal trading? So I don't know. I guess it's something to do with human interaction. We've still got some human interaction, but it's all executed by quants now. Yeah, bankers and traders come in. They look at the markets. They have orders to execute. They will give the orders to a quant. The quant will break it down into orders and execute it. They don't do anything. They just sit there and monitor it, basically. They're reporters. Everybody is now, aren't they? AI is going to revolutionize this even further. Yeah, what's the point in having a trader come in and sit at a desk and pay him 125 grand basic a year when you can just basically get an AI to do that and monitor it? It's all he's doing at the end of the day now, isn't it? Monitoring it. There's no real decision-making processes made. The systems and the strategies are in place. There's signals coming out that get told to execute. So I think it's going to change. Pulling back on the DAX, no trades today that are going to work, I don't think. We've got no volume. 5, 10, 15, 20. Half an hour sideways. Dead. Very hard to make money today. You need to be on the pre-market today. Pre-market 15 was the break today. Still only got like 1.5 hour out of that. That one you got about 4 hour. That was your trade today, the DAX, FTSE short. But if we'd known that, we would have taken it. Robert, if I've noticed they require... I've noticed they require you to be right within a certain time period, which we know timing can't be predicted. Pretty nice advantage if you're an options writer. Yeah, I don't know. I know nothing about options. I literally have never looked into it. I started doing an options course long time ago, probably about 15 years ago. And I just got bored. It's a bit like futures, futures hedging strategies, option strategies. They're all really sort of consistent ways of making money, but you need large capital and you need long time, and that's just not interesting for most traders. So I looked into it briefly, started doing a course on it, and then just got bored. Just didn't follow it up. Afternoon, morning even, Mumo. You saw the documentation about Jane Street and the index market manipulation that is legal? No, never heard of that. Index market manipulation that is legal. Very interesting trading story. I don't know who Jane Street is. Never heard of it. Nice website. What do you do? We provide extensive liquidity in ETFs. Why do futures traders always wear gilets? Never understood. You quite often see them wearing shirts and gilets. He looks a bit like a farmer. No, I didn't see that. But manipulation is a very difficult thing to quantify because, and this is where the CFTC always have a problem. Insider trading and market manipulation are very hard to prove because if you're a large institutional trader, you have a large amount of capital and you have large orders to place. You can't help manipulate the market. Yeah, if you dump 200 million long in FTSE stocks this morning, the FTSE is going to rocket. You can't help it. If someone says to you, I want to buy, if a billionaire comes along in your portfolio and says, I want to invest 300 million in FTSE stocks this morning, execute the order, it's going up. You will be, you will be accused of manipulating the market. Sorry, I was just placing an order for someone. It's a very hard thing to prove. There's been loads of cases in the past with OTC transactions, particularly within banks. The CFTC have looked into, and not so much the CFTC, but the financial ombudsman basically have looked into over-the-counter bank trading and said, this isn't allowed. And it's like, well, sorry, this is what we do. We exchange orders with each other, but you have to do it through the free market. No, you don't. You can do it any way you like. And the trouble is, the fines for insider trading and market manipulation are so small in significant terms compared to what they make. There's no reason not to do it. It's like if you speed in your car and they give you a £65 fine and they don't put any points on your license and you're a multi-millionaire, what's to stop you speeding? 65 quid every day. It's irrelevant. I make more than that a minute in interest. Doesn't matter. If you put points on your license, you can only do it 4 times and then you're banned from driving. This is why they do it that way. with the banks and institutions, if they get caught doing something naughty, they get a fine slapped, 200 million fine. That's all right. We made 1 billion out of it. There you go. You can have your 200 million. We just keep the 800 million we made. There's no incentive to stop doing it. So a lot of it is kind of grey as well. So I wouldn't be surprised. There's loads of stories about manipulation and all this sort of stuff. Why is this? Look at this morning. Someone in one of the institutions this morning knew that was going to happen because they had a massive amount of FTSE stock to sell. They came out at the bell and went bang, sold the lot. Yeah. If I'd have been that person today that executed that order and I told you I was going to execute that order, that's insider trading. Yeah, because you're going to short it. 5 minutes before the market opens, you will short the FTSE. I will make the FTSE go down. You will take a load of profit and give me a cut. But I'm not doing anything illegal because I've been asked to execute orders short in the FTSE. That's the grey area, isn't it? It's all manipulated. Everything's manipulated. This is why it's so hard to make money out of markets, because you cannot time movement. You cannot judge speed or distance of movement. It's random, created by people in institutions with large pockets. You just have to get on at the right time and ride whatever they're doing. And there's no way of predicting it. It doesn't matter how many books you read, how many courses you do, how many systems, indicators, and EAs you buy. None of them can predict the future. Unfortunately, this is where we need the AI to create the time machine, and then we will all become rich. Did not realize your pre-market entries were not every day. I thought your system always took them. Nope, no pre-market at all on the ORB. On version, you can have pre-market if you want. You can set it up to do pre-market. It's entirely up to you. There's no right or wrong. If you want to take pre-market, take pre-market. I don't take pre-market anymore. Stock index hedge takes pre-market, but I haven't got it running because my VPS is still sitting on my desk. I still haven't set it up. I'm still not trading SIH at the moment. I will be. It's on my list of to-dos that I haven't got around to doing. And it's legal. It's crazy. Yeah. I noticed that too. All these hedge fund traders dress the same. I know, it's bizarre, isn't it? It's like the stereotypical farmer has, the wax jacket, a flat cap. The stereotypical institutional trader wears a gilet. And it's not an expensive one either, is it? It's a cheap one. Yeah, it's not expensive, is it? This guy's a multi-millionaire. I'd imagine. He's sitting there at a desk. You'd imagine he is a multi-millionaire. He's got quite a nice Rolex. But yeah, he wears a plastic gilet, probably from H&M, probably 15 quid. I don't know, something like that. Internships. All these people look, studying the ladder, I reckon. It's like they're programming. There you go. That's trading now. Quants. Algorithmic. Statistical, algorithmic. That's all trading is. We've turned into computers. Stopped out in the DAX short. Nothing much we can do today. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30. Yeah, so we're basically over half an hour in. So if it does break short, there's going to be no trades. So long break is really the only way I'm going to make money this morning. Long break upside target for me is up here. Yesterday's downside resistance is there. So potentially we may be looking at a down leg. But what's the US indices doing today? Yeah, they're all doing the same thing today. So all selling off. 3-bar reversals going in across all the US indices at the minute. Beautiful 3-bar reversal. Same there, same there. So either we're on a pullback or reversal here. Not going anywhere. Load of rubbish, isn't it? Nothing to do today. Just have to sit here and hope we make some money. We've got ADR, look, Euro odd. First ADR, it's not an ADR. Massive gap. That's the other thing I've noticed this week. We've had some massive gaps on the Australasian markets. Aussies and New Zealand's, that's half an ADR there. So where we closed, literally there, we shut the market for 5 minutes. We opened 60 pips lower. ADR, half an ADR is 53.6. So the amount of broker manipulation going on these Australasian markets at the moment is huge. So a lot of these ADRs we've seen on the Aussies and New Zealands this week, we've had 150, 200 ADRs. They haven't been because we've had half an ADR of movement. Some days, 3/4 of an ADR. Terrible. So that's not really an ADR. It is technically because, we have moved above the average daily range, but we gapped down by half of it. So not really a proper ADR today. I've looked at many ways to try and filter this out. I've done calculations using the close of the previous day. So using that basically as the calculation for the up and the downside. I've looked at all sorts of ways of trying to sort of figure this out, but it doesn't really make a lot of difference. Market does what it does. Very difficult to recalculate the way that ADR is calculated, unfortunately. Why trade FTSE and not the S&P? Because the S&P is shut. Trade the S&P in the afternoon when the S&P is open, 9:30. 2:30 this afternoon, I'll be back here trading the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. Welcome, Dave. You're obviously new. I no longer believe that the FTSE moves based purely on the underlying buying and selling. The tail wags the dog. Short term, the algos drive the primary direction. It's highly manipulated. Yeah, everything is manipulated. But this is the thing. This is the quandary, isn't it? Manipulation. What is manipulation? Yeah. How do you quantify or qualify manipulation? If I am a bank trader sitting on a desk and I walk into my office at 7:30 in the morning, open up my order execution for the day, and I see nothing but sell orders from clients on UK stocks, I have to execute those orders. Yeah, that's my job. If there's another bank or institution sitting there with a load of buy orders, and I can see that I can get most of my orders executed this morning with them, I will do that, but the excess has to be executed. The best time to do it is at the opening bell because there's large liquidity pools in there from all the other banks. Bang. I caused that. Am I manipulating the market or am I doing my job? Quantify that, qualify that. Accuse me of doing my job. That's my job. Yeah. There is, knowing people that work in banks, the manipulation side of things is usually done by the market makers. The market maker's job is basically to provide liquidity for other institutions. Their job is to execute the opposite side of other institutional orders, i.e. you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I will do this for you. You need to do this for me later. Okay. That's an agreement. It's an arrangement to trade and conduct business and execute your daily job. However, the market makers know what's coming. They tell the FX desks directional bias based on executions they're going to do. This is where the manipulation is. It's the FX desk's knowledge of predetermined moves by market makers, which is executing their daily job. Where's the manipulation? If I told you that at 2:30 this afternoon, I know someone in Barclays that's going to press the button on a 500 million long, he's just doing his job because he's got a 500 million long to execute. How he executes it, whether he does it in 100 batches or in one batch, is going to make a smaller candle or a bigger candle. The fact that I know it, that's where the insider trading manipulation lies. Not the fact that he's going to do the order, because it's his job. But everything is manipulated. That's the whole thing. You know, manipulation is part of trading. But this, you know, you if you worry about it and you don't trade it because it's manipulated, you will never trade. You might as well go and work at McDonald's, because there is no market on the planet that isn't manipulated. Yeah. You can't control it. If you worry about it, you're going to get cross with it. There's nothing you can do about it. Enter the market at a specific time when a candle closes and it gives you a signal. You have a 50-50 chance of it going up or down. They will manipulate that price up or down. You can't do anything about it. So stop worrying about it. You are not in control. You are a passenger on a train going north or south. That's it. You can't control it. So forget about it. Doesn't matter. Whether it's manipulated or not, why it's manipulated, who's manipulated it, doesn't come into the equation, because you can't control it. It's like saying the weather is either going to rain or it's going to be clear. You can't control it. Go out and be prepared. Take a coat, take an umbrella, take some shorts and take some sunscreen. Yeah, because you're going to need some of that. Don't know which. I'm going to walk in this morning and I'm going to need to go long or short. I don't know which. Doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter why it's going to rain. Doesn't matter why it's going to be sunny. It's a fact. This is going up and down. It's a fact. This is going to move up and down at random movements. Some days it's going to be big. Some days it's going to be small. It's a fact. Deal with it. It's all you've got. You know, this is the thing. Everybody's looking for a way to discover how this thing moves. As soon as you understand that you can't do that, you will suddenly start making money, because what you will do is you will ride what's happening. And that is where the money is made. Yeah, not trying to predict the future, just getting in the market. I've been short on this thing for ages. Yeah, been short on this thing for a month. Yeah, I can't control where it's going. It's going up at the moment. I'll wait for it to come down. Yeah, you can't control it. Oil, been sitting in it for months. Want it to go up. It's going sideways. I can't control it. I have accepted the fact I can't control it. All I have is risk. I am long. I have set a line in the sand where I will get out. I have set a line in the sand where I will get out. What happens here, how it moves, who manipulates it. If OPEC come out tomorrow and I've talked to the Saudis have given an OPEC a backhander of 200 million to cap oil price, will go up. Oil production will go up. Yeah. Why the Saudis did it, whether the Saudis did it, I couldn't give a monkey's. It's out of my control. Doesn't matter, does it? Everything's manipulated. Why do politicians get into government? Backhanders, deals. Yeah, you don't get to be the prime minister or the president of the US without having a load of under the desk dealing going on. I've got something on you. Yeah. If you don't give me 200 million to get into the president's seat, I will dish the dirt. No problem. Here's your 200 million. But I want you to remember this when you get in. I've got a deal I need to do and build a load of houses over there. So I want that land. Is that all right? Yes. Manipulation. Can you do anything about it? No. Irrelevant. Doesn't matter, does it? Deal with what you got. You got charts, candlesticks going up and down, 50-50 chance every time. Market makers front run share prices and manipulate short selling. Yes. Again, who cares? Stop worrying about it. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm sounding like a gangster now. Forget about it. That was a really bad gangster. Right, I'm waffling now because I've got nothing to talk about because this thing is just sideways. So all you can do is wrap risk around price. That's your job, basically. And if you get it wrong, you either take a loss or you change your price. That's it. That's trading. So I'm just watching this other strategy go at the moment. It's doing absolutely nothing this morning. It's really hard to test a new strategy when the market doesn't move. I'm trying to test hitting take profit targets and trailing stop losses. It can't hit a target because they're not manipulating it this morning. Nothing I can do about it. Testing. Live testing's a pain in the ass. Right. I'll leave you there. I'll be back this afternoon at 2:30. We'll see where we go this afternoon, if we've gone anywhere. So this afternoon, we will look at, obviously, FTSE, S&P, NASDAQ, and Dow. Why is my website so slow? So back at 2:30 this afternoon, we'll do a quick recap of the week. I've kind of done it this morning. There's not a lot to recap. We haven't really gone anywhere. So we're basically, this is where we were on Monday. Now it's Friday. We haven't gone anywhere, have we? So there's not really a lot to recap this week. There's been very little movement, very few signals. The signals we've had have all played out and all undone themselves. But long-term positions, absolutely static at the moment. Absolutely nothing we can do with them. So there's not really an awful lot to look at the minute. So indices this afternoon, we'll see if we can get some clean breaks on the US indices. I want to try and get back that profit from yesterday if possible. Apart from that, not a lot we can do. Ladies, that's a good point of view about manipulation. Yes. I've got a video on my website. It's one of the most important videos on my website, and it's the oldest and the crappiest video. It's one of the very first videos I did. That one. Yeah. It's really, really, really crap and really, really old. The quality of the video is terrible. It's only 10 minutes long. But this teaches you everything you need to know about trading, basically. You are not in control. And as soon as you understand that, and as soon as you accept that, you will become profitable. Because the thing that you, at the moment, all traders, not you specifically, but all traders who are learning how to do this job are looking for a way to make money out of the market. And they are all trying to find a way to time the market. You cannot control the market. The market just moves up and down. That's all it does. It's completely random. There are patterns that form, but the patterns are random. The patterns are never the same. The timing of the patterns is never the same. The distance they move after the patterns is never the same. There is nothing consistent about any candlestick chart you ever look at. There is no pattern you can show me that repeats itself over and over and over and over again, apart from Fibonacci. And that will either be one of those, one of those, one of those, or one of those. Again, random. I don't know which. It will 38, 50, 61, 8, or 100%. One of those will happen. I don't know which. So I can't control when it will happen. I can't control how long it will take to get there. I can't control which of those will be hit. You have no control. You have the ability to wrap risk around price and wait for movement to happen. As soon as you accept that, you will stop system hopping. Because you will go, they all do the same. Every single system is trying to time market movement. It's impossible without a crystal ball, a time machine, or some other way of knowing bank and institutional movement. As soon as those two videos are the only videos you really need to know. If you've been trading for anything more than a year, you'll watch those and you'll suddenly go, I need to stop everything I'm doing and just press the button. Reduce your risk, get in the market, wait for the market to move. When the market moves in your direction, take the money. When it doesn't, adjust your price. Only way to make money. And that's what banks do. Thanks for subscribing. Friska. I am new, but many thanks for your chart analysis, also your comments on markets. Thank you very much, Craig. Welcome aboard. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, all that crap. Sorry, just move that in there. Didn't mean to do that. Oh my God. Hope you're doing well. It's me, Forex Machinist. You've changed your name to 18K. No matter where I go, always end up back on your material. Just want to say thank you. And cool to see everything evolved a bit since 2020. Yes, welcome back, Forex Machinist. You went off to study, if I remember rightly, and hoping to get a job in banking. Can't remember. But yeah, it's good that you ended up back here. So you've watched all the gurus, figured out the gurus are crap, and come back here because I just talk normal sense, basically. Hopefully that's a reason. Yes. Anyway, I will leave you there. I'm off basically now to do some more coding. I'll be back this afternoon at 2:30. We'll have a look at how the indices move this afternoon. But so far this morning, absolute dud. We are starting to break short now. But I wouldn't really hold out too much hope today. Everything's crap out there. Yes. If you're looking for a job in anything to do with computers at all, which is operating a computer, programming a computer, or basically looking at a computer, stop, go and get a job in plumbing or building, because everything to do with computers is going with AI, and plumbing and building, it can't do yet. So as soon as somebody puts the AI into a robot, then plumbing and building will also be gone. So human race, what's the point? Why do we exist? We just have AI do everything for us. Trading, make your own money. Right, I'll leave you there. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord or Telegram. Other than that, have a good day. We'll see you later this afternoon if you're back. If not, I'll be back on Monday. Have a good day.